Hello everyone, welcome back, and oh my goodness, do I have a build for you today. We are going to have some fun. We're doing an all brand new build, which is going to look amazing when everything's done. Everything you see on the table is new, and we got everything from a combination of Micro Center, Amazon, and Newegg. First off, let's mention the case. This is the Cougar Blazer Essence. If you missed it, check it out. We actually did do an unboxing video for this case already, and it looks insane. It's black, orange, it's an open concept case with glass panels. It's gonna be crazy to build in. For our motherboard, we're gonna be rocking the Asus TUF Gaming B560M Plus Wi-Fi. Running at the heart of that motherboard is going to be the Intel Core i5-11600K. Keeping it nice and frosty is our Arctic Frozer 2 liquid cooler. Running all those graphics is going to be the Asus TUF Gaming GTX 1660 Super. This is their OC edition. Bam. The brains of this operation is going to be this 2 terabyte M.2 drive from Inland. To help with this aesthetic appeal of the black and orange, we are actually enlisting the help of some of these Cougar fans. You're gonna see these on our radiator and also across the top of our build. We've got 4 of them just for fun. And powering this whole system is the EVGA 850 GT. This is a fully modular power supply, which is gonna deliver enough power to run all of this and more if we ever decide to upgrade. Now, full disclosure, because of this case, the power supply will be very visible. And if we don't like the look of this power supply, I do have a Corsair power supply, also fully modular, on reserve, just in case. I knew I forgot something. 16 gigs of G.Skill Trident Z RAM, 3600 megahertz, CL18, and all that beautiful RGB. Now that's what we have on the table. Let's zoom in for a closer look. All right, here's our motherboard. Classic antenna. I have a TUF series in my personal computer. I do like the look of it. Not bad, fairly standard, fairly straightforward. 24-pin power, 8-pin CPU power. There's your USB 3.0. Heatsink for our M.2 drive, that's perfect. Additional storage if we choose to upgrade. Built-in I/O shield, that's perfect. And nothing on the back. And if I remember correctly, we do have a little RGB that kicks in here. SATA cables, don't think we'll be needing those. Extra screws, pamphlets. I don't even know why they still include these. So this 6 gig card will get us where we're going. It even comes with a back plate, and when we're talking about the overall aesthetic of the TUF series, I mean honestly, it's pretty cohesive, and overall I do like the look. You all know what this looks like. We're gonna take that out when we're ready. Ooh, those are pretty, aren't they? Same thing, it's an M.2 drive. We'll take it out when we're ready. Let's talk about you. Now, I've never used this cooler before. I have heard good things. I hope to see good things in the performance. Lots of hardware. Ooh, look at that. That is a big boy. Now, those fans aren't bad looking, but I have a surprise. Ta-da! Now these fans look identical. However, these are the ones that we're gonna swap out with our radiator. 1, that orange is gonna look sweet together. And 2, these will adjust with temps. So those will look great once we're all set. Now lastly is this power supply. Like I said, the caveat to this is we wanna make sure that it looks good. Cable ties. Okay, the size looks good. It's not crazy big. That fan design on top there, well, not the fan itself, but the grate, the cover, the guard, looks pretty cool. All right, so this one isn't too intrusive. It does have, you know, all your info here on the side, both sides, actually. So we might as well stick with the Supernova. And if you need cables, we've got cables for days. Now, this is usually the part of the build where any creator online turns on some slow jazz / elevator music. Maybe they do some slow-mo shots. The camera pans across because they can pay someone to run it. And over the next few minutes of this montage, you see things about the computer coming together, like the RAM going in the slots, The M.2 going in the thing for the M.2. I'm sure it has a name. Slowly closing the lid on the processor, that little plastic tab just pops off. And then you, the viewer, gets to go, wow, look at how he did that again. Now, if you've never built a computer before, any of this can seem completely foreign to you, and that is okay. There are tons of videos out there, even some on my channel, that if you don't know how to do this, will show you how to do this. That being said, I have another method I've been working on. Yes, let me get a handle on this here. Here goes nothing. Well, that turned out better than expected. Can you see what's going on here? Let's bring you in for a closer look. Now, as you can see, the orange is something else. We have our new fans mounted at the top here. We have our other fans swapped out for the radiator over here. The hose is best mounted here. Now, we do have those extended caps that we talked about that we can put here to bump out that glass. However, I do like the tighter look with the glass on here, which is taken off because of the reflection. But these will push down a little bit up against that glass panel. It'll look a little something like that. But like I said, it is much slimmer. I think it looks better that way. Down below, we had to get a little creative with the like the audio cable, one of the fan cables. There's not a lot of fan headers on here, and so we actually had to loop one of the cables down and around here, this sneaky little guy, back around here to make it, because with the power supply mounted here, those slots in the back of the motherboard tray can't get those cables down and around. Overall, not the most difficult case to work in. Now, what's the back look like? We did our best to keep the cables to a minimum, and you can see there is a little bit of glare coming off of that glass. The cable management, yeah, it's not beautiful, but I've definitely done worse. And how does it perform? Well, that's an excellent question. I'm not entirely sure. I have not even fired it up yet. I just finished putting it together, and this is what we got. I'm really happy with how this turned out. Now, let's see if we can get Windows installed, see what this thing can do. All right, it is the next day. Everything is assembled, software has been installed, and we're ready to run some benchmarks. This is one of those cases I was so happy. Everything went together, everything installed, everything went off without a hitch, and I could not be happier. So over here we have MSI Afterburner up, and I use that for monitoring all of my tests. The system has been sitting idle, and the ambient temperature in here is about 72 degrees Fahrenheit, which is like 22 Celsius. And with that, the GPU is idling at 29 degrees Celsius, and the CPU is idling at 25. We have MSI Afterburner set to just 5 categories: GPU temp, GPU usage, CPU temp, CPU usage, and RAM usage. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna run Cinebench R23 and FurMark 1080p settings simultaneously for 10 minutes. And then after 10 minutes, we're gonna take a look at the system specs, and we're gonna see how everything's running and how smooth it looks. All right, let's fire it up. As we get started, I just want to note how quiet this system is. I don't know what we're picking up on the microphone on the camera right now, but honestly, I am getting more noise interference from the heater in the room and from outside than what's actually coming from the system itself. So one of the things that we're going to be looking at is not only the temps of the system, but how loud it gets as we go. So obviously, immediately, GPU and CPU usage jumps to 100 or 99. RAM usage creeps up a little bit, but we've got 16 gigs in here, so not even close to what we have. And we're gonna let this run for 8 to 10 minutes, and we're gonna see where these temps level out at. All right, I'm not sure how visible it is up here in the top corner, but we just crossed over the 5-minute mark. As you can see from the graph, temps have been climbing, as you would expect. Both are at 69 degrees right now, and both look like they're starting to level off. All right, we're checking in at the 8-minute mark. I just wanted to point out that on the CPU here, the usage, these dips you're seeing is every time Cinebench finishes a round and kicks up a new one. So that's what these marks are right here. FurMark runs right through. And at the 8-minute mark, we're seeing temps normalize. CPU's dancing a little bit between 69 and 71. GPU seems to be set right at 70. And again, ambient temperature is at 22 degrees Celsius, and these here are set at 70 and 70 Celsius. At the 9-minute mark, I just want to mention that this is all with stock fan curves. Nothing has been changed, nothing has been edited, and there's no weird spikes in performance. It's been a nice, quiet lull. All right, that's officially the 10-minute mark. Just want to point out, I zoomed in the camera a little bit so you can see GPU temperature not once went above 70 degrees. Oh, good time we jumped in here because it looks like our Cinebench run just ended. Our Cinebench never got above 71 degrees. So 70 and 71 degrees Celsius for the GPU and CPU. And again, that was under a simultaneous sustained load. And you'll notice that aside from Cinebench redoing its runs, very smooth, very few dips, very few inconsistencies in performance. And we'll get the microphone as close as we can here, but listen. Very normal fan sounds. Nothing crazy. All right, everyone, that's it. That's the unboxing, the build, the benchmark. This project was really fun and a little challenging, but everything went off without a hitch. I'm really happy with how this unique look came out. I'm not even a huge fan of orange, and I think that the black and orange build here is stunning, and the performance is on par to match. So if you found this video useful, helpful, I'll even take entertaining, like and subscribing would be awesome. This channel is small and obscure, but I'd like to change that this year with your help. So thank you. I look forward to your comments about this build, and if you've built in this case, how was it for you? Did you go with the same orange and black theme build, or did you go a different direction? Maybe something even a little more custom? But that's it for now. Thanks again, and I'll see you soon. Bye.